Hey Pitmasters, what is up? Welcome to another video. Today we got something epic for you. We're gonna work with the Fire Kitchen boys. If you haven't heard of his channel yet, you have to check out this video. So let's get started. We're in my hometown and we're going to pick up the guys from the Fire Kitchen at their hotel. Good morning. Hi. This is the right hotel.
Hi.
Hey. We're driving to the southern part of the Netherlands to check out St. Joseph's farm. If I'm correct, they breed the finest Wagyu beef in all of the Netherlands.
I'm Jacco Geerse. I'm the owner of Wagyu Farm, and I do this with my companion.
These are magnificent animals. Can you see how small these actually are compared to the European cows? Like the Simmentaler, for instance, as well. They're just smaller and they're really strong-legged. And the reason for that is that they've been working the fields in Japan and they've been in grasslands and wetlands, and they have to have really strong feet and they have to be tough animals, because traditionally in Japan they wouldn't eat it. They would use it as an animal to do farm work. The meat density is really high, and we not intentionally created them, but now we get to enjoy the meat, and that's fantastic. You're nice and cozy, right? But one thing she doesn't know, and I'm not going to tell her what's going to happen. Jacco selected some beautiful beef to work with. But before we head back to the studio, we are lighting a fire and tasting this beautiful beef. So we're here in this forest and we got a little fire going, so we're gonna grill that Wagyu beef. We got this cast iron pan up, we'll wait till it's hot. It's only gonna take around 30 seconds or so, and then we'll start grilling. And wow, the flavors are amazing. The strong beef flavor and the tender and juicy meat exceeds all expectations. If you want to see the amazing video that the guys from the Fire Kitchen have produced, go check out their video on their YouTube channel. The link is down below in the video description. Oh, look at it. This is the meat that we bought yesterday at the Wagyu farm. And if you smell the tail, it really has that strong ox smell. For now, we're just gonna take this and start grilling it, you know, caramelize it on the outside, give a little bit of wood flavor to it, and then we're gonna put it in a pan and create this beautiful pasta sauce out of it. So we'll just put these on our grill to smoke. Beautiful tails. And we're going to add some wood chips. Now these wood chips haven't been soaking in water. So we're just going to put them on and it's going to create a lot of direct smoke. It's just not going to smoke for very long, but just will give it a hint of smoke flavor. I'm going to use oak wood chips for this cook because we want a strong flavor to stand up against these oxtails. Look at that. Look at the color change that appeared on the meat. So you can clearly see that the smoke caught onto the meat, and with it being oak, the smoke really goes fast. And not all the wood chips are burned out yet, but we're just going to leave it open and open the bottom vent to get the fire really going, and then grill off the outside so we get the beautiful Maillard effect. We let the charcoal come up to temperature, we put the grill grate in, and now I'm going to put the meat over direct heat to get that beautiful caramelization. Now there's a lot of fat in this meat, so we gotta really be looking for flare-ups so that we don't get too much and the outside of meat burns. We just want to keep it to caramelization. Well, we got this beautiful caramelization, that little light brown touch, and we're going to move it over to indirect, and we're going to put it in a pan, and then we're going to let it simmer. Now the coals of course are really hot, so we're really trying to slow down the temperature in our barbecue because we don't want our meat to burn inside of the pan. So we're going to leave out the smallest bits of the tail and we're going to do something special with it in the end. Close the lid on the pan, close the lid on the grill, and then have the grill vents set to a slight opening. So we're going to slice our onion, chop the onion fine, and then we're going to use some celery, and then we're going to use some of these fresh carrots. I use the back of my knife to clean them up a little bit and then start slicing it. Maybe one more carrot, so that totals to 3, because we want like an equal amount of onion, carrot and celery. Now we're going to put this into our pan, open up the grill, slide our vegetables right in. Set the meat on top of the vegetables. So let's put the lid back on, close the lid of the grill, and then at a low temperature we're going to let this continue to simmer. So a low temperature here would be around 120 degrees Celsius and 140 degrees Celsius. So we're also going to add this fresh garlic. So we'll add this to the pan. Well, the rest of the ingredients are turning nice and soft, so we can start working on a passata. So I got my grater, I got a plate, and I got these beautiful tomatoes that we're going to use. We're going to do a coarse grating. While we're grating this, the skin will stay on the outside and the nice juices will be on the inside. Normally I would just buy this in a can or in a jar, but with the Wagyu beef I want to go through the extra effort of making a beautiful dish. Now we'll add this passata to our pan. So we already have a lot of juices in there from the tomato, as you can see. It looks gorgeous, but we're going to add a little bit of this red wine, and this is an Argentinian mix of Merlot and Cabernet, which will be, it's like a stronger wine and will hold up against the strong flavors of the beef. And I'm going to add around 100 milliliters. So it's for moisture, but it's also for a lot of flavor. So it's been a little over 4 hours now, and wow, take a look at that. That looks amazing. Now we didn't add any seasoning to this, so we still need to add a little bit of salt. We're also going to add fresh ground black pepper. So we're going to finish this recipe off by adding some grated cheese. But what that's going to do is make it even more salty, so you got to calculate that into your recipe. Now we're going to take a meat out of the pan, put it on our cutting board, and we'll let it cool down just a little bit so we can take the meat off the bone. Okay, so we're going to take the meat off the bone, and it just falls apart, so it's not very hard. So we're gonna cut this a little bit down. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt to it. Mix it up. So let's do a quick taste test. Oh yeah. So this is the part where we're going to start building up our plate. I got a beautiful plate. And yes, that does matter. I'm going to start off with a little bit of tagliatelle. Now we can add our sauce. And then we're going to finish it off with our beef. Look at that. And then as a finish, I got something special. And this is just because it's Wagyu. I want to do something crazy. So I'm going to put the lid back on the grill. And I'm going to use it as a grill to sear off the last bit of beef. So basically these are the parts that are the end of the tail, and we're just going to take it off and almost peel it like an orange. And then we're going to grill it. So let's grill this part. Put it on the skillet.
And then we'll roll this up. And this was the idea of the farmer that we were at the St. Joseph Wagyu's farm. And you roll it up and you're creating almost like a medallion. But what I want to do is slice into it into thin strips. Now notice how red it is. That's not because it's rare, but because of the amount of flavor that's into this beef. It's insane. So we'll add some of these crispy bits to the side here. So I'm also going to add some of this parsley. Just need that little bit to finish it off. And of course, we bought this beautiful cheese. Look at that. We have two kinds. One of the Panado Granado and a little bit of Pecorino. That will double up the flavor. It's done. It's time to try the recipe. But I'm really confident it's going to taste really well. So we're going to take a little bite of the beef and the sauce first, the stewed beef. On this plate, we do not have a recipe, we have an experience. We went to a farm, we bought meat, we created this recipe, but it's much more than that. If you love this recipe, give me a big thumbs up, leave me a comment. See you guys next time. Until then, I'm gonna enjoy my plate. Eet smakelijk!